Hey everyone, True Bees Apiary here. Today is August the 21st. I know it has been many months since the last time I've uploaded any content. We're out here at one of the yards, obviously almost 2 full seasons later. I think the last time I uploaded had to have been March or April, and we're at one of the yards. There's some hives down there. We'll go into here pretty closely pretty soon. But yeah, life's been very busy. That's why I gotta say sorry that I haven't uploaded anything, but it's been a pretty normal beekeeping year for me. So this video is more just kind of a normal update about how everything's gone. Spring went well. I made tons of splits. I know I didn't upload any of that. Lots of splits. Only lost a few hives this summer. Not as bad as last summer's videos where hive beetles were tearing things apart. We've definitely gotten them largely under control through, you know, kind of a combination of things. I think the only thing this year that I've done a little bit different from previous years is adding peppermint candies in my hives. I usually will just not fully unwrap it, you know, partially unwrap it, place it in the hive. It's probably best if it's in the brood chamber, but I mean, I've even put it up in the upper boxes, whether it's the super, etc., and the smell still permeates, I think, at least to some degree. Last year we did everything to control the beetles using diatomaceous earth, both in like a bottom board as well as underneath the hives. We did oil traps, we did beetle barns, we did all of that. Really, aside from peppermint candies, which is kind of a newer thing I wanted to try, since apparently the beetles don't like the smell of peppermint oil. Really, the only other thing is that beetle vacuum that I kind of showed earlier this spring. And it seems to be working fine. Let me kind of show that just as a quick reminder what that looks like. You know, something as simple as this. You know, Amazon sells some vacuums. Just kind of duct taped it on there. Beetles go in there, get trapped in here, and you can squish them later. Like I said, Bug Farmer's the one who brought that to my attention as a cool idea to suck up beetles, and that has helped. But I will say that for me personally, you know, it is a big labor investment when I come out and do these hive checks. And my hives are not close to where I live, where time is of the essence. I only have so much time to do stuff, and half the time I don't have time to go through my hives and kill beetles. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This has been the only other thing that I've done differently other than this that I feel like has helped me a lot. Wax moths were okay this summer. I definitely lost some comb to moths, but nothing atrocious. I'll try to go over a video this fall as to what I've been trying, but this is my second year trying a product that I'll talk more about in more detail later, and that has helped. But yeah, again, pretty normal beekeeping year, guys. Like I said, you have some growth, sold some nukes. Yeah, lost a few hives. Yeah, I'll kind of go over some lessons learned after I kind of show you guys some beekeeping content of just how my bees are looking across the board, and yeah, we'll go in that in final thoughts. So it just so happens, as I'm going through these hives, this one, pretty, you know, semi-decent population, but this far right one died out. This is a semi-shaded area. It's not been the best productive area. And because of that, it's also had some hive beetle problems. So as of 3 weeks ago, this hive was alive, but today it is a dead out. There were some bees in there, but not very many. So it's just gonna be shook out, and this is just gonna be cleaned up altogether. But let me just show you the early stages of not only beetle, but wax moth damage. So you got a bunch of pollen, right? Tons of pollen stored, but yeah, hard to say when they would have abandoned it. I don't see any beetles in this one. You can see some wax moth damage right there. There's a beetle running around. So yeah, so we're most likely going to take these frames and freeze them, and then maybe after they're frozen, we'll give them as resources to a different colony, just so they have something to work with. So, but as I said, this one has a semi-decent population. There are, it's a double deep, but there are bees in there. I am most likely, just for my own sake, I'm probably gonna move this hive over there so it's more in the sun. And then, yeah, I think that's gonna be the future. Maybe not today, but I think that's just something that is gonna have to happen down the road. So let me get this one cleaned up and we will move on down. All of this, I just pulled out a frame from this hive, and there is a lot of, I wouldn't even call it nectar anymore. It's definitely getting to the level of honey. You can tell it's got some thicker viscosity to it. So that makes me hopeful that, maybe the start of our flow is finally coming in, honestly. So just kind of wanted to share that real quick, just so you kind of see. Nothing capped yet though. All right, let's take a look at one of these stronger hives right here. Right now, this stand is technically on the second of this row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hives over here on this row. This is one of the original stronger ones that I had. The other two, they were looking pretty good. I just worked through them. This top box has a old school style queen excluder. I just want to see if there's any sign of any sort of nectar or anything to that effect coming in. Let's take a look. Again, these bees have not been fed for about 3 weeks. A lot of pollen up here. You can see all this basically like let's see, like brood food. So it's kind of like a mixture of honey and pollen. You can kind of tell by the coloration. It's very wet. I don't know if the camera will capture that. This wrapper right here is from one of those peppermints to keep hopefully the beetles away. Well, right here, actually on this side, you can kind of see some honey right here in the middle. So they're working along. They're doing pretty good. So let's just give them some sugar water. I'm not too worried about population down here. But yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with these ones. A few more to work through, and then we'll go to the big tree yard. All right, let's take a look at this last one. This is the big tree yard, obviously. Looking pretty decent cluster. Let's pull a frame out and take a look. What I'm looking for is any signs of any sort of fresh nectar of any sort. Have not seen goldenrod, have not seen many of the normal fall flowering plants. However, a couple weeks ago, really a month ago, we had a bloom of a lot of flowering plants. And I believe a lot of the bees were bringing in pollen at that time during my checks, but not a lot in the way of fresh nectar. You can tell right here, this is all, let me actually try to give you guys some light better so that way it's shining on this side. But that is all soon to be honey. Not capped, but all very, tell it's very thick in there. It's not nectar. So the last time I was out here feeding these bees was about 3 weeks ago. You know, Can't rule out that this isn't as a result of sugar water feeding, because as you can see in the video, that's what I'm doing. However, this honey I am not harvesting. This honey is just for the bees to consume over the winter. And so just kind of wanted to show you that. It's possible it's one or the other, but I haven't seen too much indication of anything fresh coming in today from any of my checks. So, you know, maybe in a few weeks, or hopefully sooner rather than later, we do get something that's coming in, so that way these hives can put on some weight. I would say of the hives I checked today, which today I only checked about no more than 20, I would say 50 to 75% are looking good, and then I'd say probably a quarter are pretty light. Don't know how your hives are looking like in your area. I know different parts of the US I've been talking to have not had very great harvests, just like last year, but you know, some aren't even planning on really taking much of their honey from their bees. But again, I had an okay harvest this year. It was, I guess you'd argue, less than last year's, but not by a whole lot. Got a couple 100 pounds, which for me, for being a pretty small beekeeper, that is that's totally fine. I'm kind of getting into the mindset I'd rather have more bees or raise more bees, and kind of leaning in that direction more so than going after honey. So, all right, well, let me do some final thoughts. All right, folks, final thoughts. So, like I said, pretty pleased. Wish I could have been making more content to kind of show you guys exactly how things have been going these past several months, but I just don't have a whole lot to share. I kind of wanted to talk about hive beetles and hive beetle controls. Obviously, you saw the first hive I checked today was a dead out. That's always unfortunate, but you know, the more you do this, you start to get over that. You know, you do your best to try to keep as many of your hives alive, but you know, only the strongest are going to survive. So just part of it. Yeah, like I said, overall very pleased. Let's just cross our fingers that we actually get a semi-decent fall flow with all this wacky weather. It's just starting to cool off here in this part of Georgia. You know, I've partially also not really done many videos just because it's been so miserably hot since, you know, May, that most time when I'm out here visiting, I'm just checking to see if there's eggs and brood, feeding some sugar water, and getting out of there, you know, giving them something to do and giving them out. I did Apigard as far as my summer treatment. I also did some oxalic. I did 2 rounds of oxalic this summer, back to back. Just something to kind of help the bees out. Did see some drop on some of my hives with the ones that have a bottom board that I can actually check for a mite drop, but you know, my goal is end of September, so pretty much a month from now, I want to be putting my Formic Pro treatments in all of these hives. So, you know, no need to spend more time me doing oxalic if I'm planning on doing that, and probably won't do oxalic again until December time frame, you know. So hoping the Formic will clean them up. Yeah, like I said, beautiful yard. Like I said, beautiful bees. Nothing to really report from these hives. You know, they've been mostly very calm. There's one over there that was a little spicy this summer, just due to me manipulating them. They didn't like that. And again, it is hot. These bees don't want to be manipulated when they're already angry. And so, yeah, it's been a crazy busy year. But again, guys, I hope I have a chance to make more videos in the future. Hopefully it's actually something worthwhile of showing, because I didn't want to re-show a bunch of just the same old. And I know that's kind of what today's video in a way feels like. There's not anything I can really teach anyone or share that'll be good insight. My biggest takeaway is just, you know, try something new every year. My new things this year was the vacuum and the little candies to keep the hive beetles at bay. you know, experiment, learn, you know, try different things and, you know, see what works best for you. This is my 5th summer of doing this, so haven't been doing it for too long, but you know, every year, every summer, which is kind of, I really think that the summer is really where you're gonna find out if you're gonna succeed or not. It's just so hard and so miserable, and I feel like I learn the most that time of the year. I'm tested the most, because honestly, once you're in fall, you have done everything you can do, that it's in Mother Nature's hands if they're gonna make it. So either way, like I said, hope to talk to you all soon. Hope you all have a good rest of August. Hope you had a good summer. Hope to catch you all this fall. Talk to you soon. Catch you on the next one.